Hey everyone, it's Tuesday. It's this gorgeous day. I hope everybody can hear me. I have a group of teenage girls behind me on their skateboards. It's so awesome. Okay, so here I am. Here we are. And if you're watching this live, awesome. And if you're gonna watch a replay, awesome. So I'm on this real thing about resentment right now. I've done a podcast on it. I've done a free training on it. And the reason is because I know that resentment for me was one of, hi Saphira, was one of the biggest challenges, especially in my early years of motherhood. It nearly killed me. And it was a huge thing that came up between my man and I. It was like a glass wall, a brick wall between us. And I know that so many other moms feel the same. And I also know that resentment puts us into a big victim mode, and we can feel powerless and just stuck as fuck in it. So I have some ways for us to get around this. And like all things, it will require us to make some strong decisions. What are we willing to let go of in order to get what we want? What are we willing to take responsibility for? And these, I know it's so hard to let go. I know it's so hard. So we have to become the queens and just do this, right? So let's start. 3 things I'm going to give you. 3 things. Those are 4 things. 3 things. The first thing is we cannot wait to be acknowledged for the work that we do. We cannot wait. The second thing is we really need to understand the cost of holding on to resentment, and then the possibility. What is possible if we let it go? And then the third thing is we have to look at everything we do through the eyes of a creatrix, not a victim. Through the eyes of a woman who is in the driver's seat of her life, not a woman who just is at the mercy of default programming. It's big. Okay. First one, we cannot wait to be acknowledged. What is under resentment? We feel all of our rage, our disappointment, our fury, our frustration, our disgust, our irritation, our annoyance. And underneath that is a deep sense of grief. We are grieving not being understood. We are grieving not being thanked. We are grieving not being acknowledged. It's so huge and it's so painful. So we need to be acknowledged, and we cannot wait for the person that we're waiting for to do it. So this is what we need to do. 2 things. We need to acknowledge the work ourselves, and we need to have an acknowledgement partner. This is so fun. Here's what you do. You write down all the things that you want acknowledged. So for me, it could be things like, I want to acknowledge all the birthday parties I put together. I want to acknowledge all of the emotional care that I give to the kids, the emotional labor that I have by checking in with them and making sure they're okay. I want to acknowledge that I get up all the time, even when I'm sick. Okay? You make a list of all your acknowledgements. Puppy. Then you find a partner. You find a woman. You're like, do you just want to feel really good and be acknowledged for all the work that you do? And she's like, yeah, I do. Great. So then you go first. Maybe it's 4 minutes. You just go, I acknowledge, I want to acknowledge, I want to acknowledge, I want to acknowledge. And at the end of every acknowledgement, your partner is going to say, I see you, I hear you, I recognize your work, you're fucking awesome. Okay, and then you go on to the next one. I want to acknowledge how often I bite my tongue instead of saying something really truthful and also really mean. That your partner's gonna say, I see you, I hear you, I recognize the work you do, you're fucking awesome. Okay? Then it's her turn. That's the first thing. If you can't get a partner, you acknowledge for yourself every single day, acknowledge what you have done. There's something about being thanked, being acknowledged for our work to be seen that just melts a little bit of the softness. And you experiment with this and you let me know. Even if you did it for 10 minutes a day for 5 days in a row with an acknowledgement partner, it would be amazing. It would change things. I guarantee it. That's one that we do. You know what, also, we get to release our partner from saying the things that they may never say, the things that they do not even know we need them to say. Again, we're queens, not victims. Okay. Number 2, we have to understand the cost of holding on to resentment and the possibility of life without resentment. So this is what you do. You grab a pen and a piece of paper, and you could do a minute each. 3 questions first. What is the cost of holding on to resentment? What is the cost to you? What is the cost to your relationship? What is the cost to your kid or kids or family? There are costs. And we need to become intimately aware of the costs so we know what we are deciding to do. This is hard, y'all. This is hard. I've done this. It breaks the heart every single time. And it's necessary and it's important, and you can do it. Then the second set. What is the possibility? What is possible if I just let go of resentment? Just if I had this like little resentment fairy who just snapped her fingers, it's gone. What would be possible for me? What would be possible for me first? How would things change in my body? Tension that I'm holding? How would my state of mind change? How would my energy change? What would be possible between me and my partner without resentment? Would I be moving closer to the relationship that I really desire? What is possible without resentment in my family home? I know for me, the energy of resentment that I had, that I carried, that I had between me and my man, and that filled our family house was not a good energy. It was a toxic energy. So I want you to know both the cost and also the possibility. What is possible without it? And then just look at those and think, these are the facts. This is the truth of what this situation is right now. Now I get to decide. And if I decide that it's more important for me to hold on to resentment, then I understand the cost. And if I decide that it's more important for me to go towards my deepest desires for my life, then I'm gonna fucking find a way to let it go. Okay? We gotta look at everything we do like we are grown-up women. And when I say that, I do not mean any kind of judgment or shame, because this is just stuff that I've worked on for so many years. I've been there. I know what it feels like for me, and I have an idea of what it feels like for you. So this is why we got to do it together. It's okay. Everybody is there. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at what you do with the eyes of a creatrix, the eyes of a queen who knows that she has the power over her life and over what she does. She is not the victim. She doesn't need to live by default programming of her own or of her family or of her partner. I want you to write down top 5 things that you do that you are resentful about. Driving kids to all the activities, making all the lunches, doing all the daycare or school pickups or drop-offs, and boom, what's the 5th one? You're gonna look at those 5 things. And beside each thing, you're gonna do one of 3 things. Either you're gonna say, I'm not gonna do this anymore. You have the right to do that. I'm giving you full permission. I'm not gonna do this anymore. And you're gonna rumble with it. You're gonna rumble with it because all that stuff is gonna come up. Mom guilt is gonna come up. Expectation is gonna come up. Your idea of what a good mother is gonna come up, and that's cool. That's what it's about. That is okay. Be in the rumble. If we aren't in the rumble, then we are living by default, and our life is going to pass us by, and we will never rise like the queens we want to be. So rumble with that shit. It's okay. You're either going to stop it, you're going to ask for help on it, which means I need you, I would like for you, I desire for you, however you want to put it, to take over pickups. Maybe you like a part of the lunches. Maybe you like a small part of lunches, like you like making sandwiches the night before, but you hate everything else. Great. I would love for you to take over everything in the lunches besides sandwiches. And you know what? I have done so many amazing trainings on the ask and how to ask. So now I'm saying this and I'm realizing that that's an important component, but just try it. What's the worst that can happen? you get a no, you get resistance. Again, be in that. It's okay. You'll get through it, and it's a way of moving forward. And then the third thing is you accept that you're doing it. A, because you actually enjoy doing it. Sometimes we enjoy doing shit. Like what have I been griping about recently? A bedtime routine. I go in and I try to spend 10 or 15 minutes with Bax and Daisy on their own, just me and them. And I can sometimes feel a bit bitchy about it. And I really have to remind myself, wait a second, I want to do this. I like doing this because it's a moment of connection. And when we have that emotional connection, it makes everything smoother. It's so important to me. So actually I'm gonna stop bitching about it because it's my choice. So if you like to do it, accept it and get on with it and let it go. If you don't enjoy doing it, but it's something that's just on your plate right now, for example, I have to do pickups on Tuesday mornings because my partner is, on a meeting, out of the house, whatever. Make it fun for you. Be a creatrix. Be the queen. What makes that fun for you? Are you going to make yourself a really special drink and carry it with you to the school? Are you going to have your AirPods in, your headphones and listening to some great music? Are you going to take a walk afterwards so you get in your daily walk every day? So how are we doing so far? Is this making sense? Is this feeling good? It's so good. Every time I talk about it, it just juices me up, because if we want to have epic lives as women, if we do not want our lives taken over by our roles of wife and mother, we must rumble. We must rise. We must question. We must ask and get a no. We must ask and get a yes. We must decide that we're gonna do it. And it's not easy, but you know what's harder? What's harder is the level of sacrifice that some of us are doing right now that we are not happy with. It's harder to live a diminished life, a life of thwarted desire, okay? All right. If you're in Canada right now, in Toronto, I guess, I hope you get outside. It's so gorgeous here. Let me know. I want you to do these 3 things. I want you to find an acknowledgement partner. I want you to do a list of what is the cost and what is the possibility to myself, to my relationship, to my kids, my family, my child. And then I want you to do those 5 things, and you're either stopping it, you're asking for help for all or part of it, or you're making it fun and you're accepting it. I want to know how you do, and I want you to do it. Do it. You can do it. Change things up right now. It is all up to you because you are a queen, mama. You got this. You can do this. You're amazing. Thank you. See you next time. I will be back next Tuesday. If there's something in particular you want me to talk about, send me a message. Bye.